To be happy and performant in life, we need to handle stress and emotions. Yet this is not something that we can learn just by reading books. It's not because I know how to be a good surfer that I am a good surfer. It requires training, practice. And for stress and emotions, it requires mental training. And in this course of the science of meditation, you will learn simple techniques of meditation to transform stress into wellness and happiness. The students themselves thought to be positive thinkers. So my calculation from these different researches make me calculate that I may come across one negative thought every 2 seconds. How would that not affect my moods, my way to interact with people or to take decisions? And that is when I am alone. So let's say I am spending a lot of time with some family members, with some colleagues at office. Imagine the clouds of thousand thoughts which may be, growing between me and them. So it seems important to be interested in this regulation of the mind, not only for my own self, but also for the others. And to explore more on that aspect, I may share that our modern life is becoming more and more, interesting and engaging, but at the same time, more and more stressful. The World Health Organization has declared stress as the world epidemic of the 21st century. And stress becomes anxiety, mental disorders, depressions, and suicide. The World Economic Forum, in its report for Global Risks 2019, estimates that there are 700 million of people, nearly 10% of the world population, with mental disorders. The World Health Organization estimates that there are 800,000 suicides a year. It's 4 suicides every 3 minutes, 1 suicide every 40 seconds, and many more attempts. It is more than people who are killed by war, natural disasters, and murders, the 3 together. Meaning that there are more people who are self-killing themselves than people who are killed by other people or external circumstances. It's the second leading cause of death for individuals between 15 and 29 years old, our youth. And with regards to mental disorders, 75% of them are estimated to start by the age of 24 and 50% of them by the age of 14. So it seems very important to pay attention to our mental health, to learn techniques and tools to be able to regulate our thoughts, our capacity to manage stress and our emotions. But also these skills seems not to be taught in our educational system. And it is not because I read books that I know how to do it. It requires some other skills, which is called mental training or meditation. So this is what we are going to explore through the next sessions, where we will see how different mind trainings can affect our brain, our mental processes, and our well-being. One moment to connect can be an instant, few seconds, few minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever. Take the time you need to center yourself. You can do this exercise while standing or being seated. with your eyes gently open with a soft gaze resting few feet in front of you, or with your eyes gently closed. You can bring your attention to your heart and think that the source of light, which is already present in the heart, is drawing your attention inward. It is pulling your attention inward. Rest your attention in the heart and feel the longing in the heart to be one and the highest you can be. Call this deepest self for guidance. And try to dive deep within. For this breathing exercise, you may prefer to be standing up, but you can also sit comfortably with your back straight. The exercise consists in deep breathing through the nose by expanding first the abdomen, the chest, the clavicular region up to the maximum capacity. And while exhaling, just let go again through the nose, emptying first the upper parts, the chest, and the abdomen. All through the exercise, you may keep your attention on the heart. Let's do this together. Inhale by expanding the abdomen, the chest, the clavicular region up to your maximum capacity, and exhale through the nose, emptying the upper parts, the chest, and your abdomen. One more time. Inhale, expanding the abdomen, the chest, the clavicular region up to the maximum capacity, and exhale through the nose, emptying the upper part, the chest, and your abdomen. Third time. Exhale. Fourth time. Exhale. Fifth time, expand the abdomen, the chest, the clavicular region up to the maximum capacity. Exhale through the nose, emptying the upper part, the chest, and your abdomen. Sixth time. Exhale. Seventh time. Exhale. Eighth time. Exhale. Ninth time. Exhale. One last time. Exhale. Hello and welcome to this session where we will speak about the benefits of meditation with regard to health and well-being. Health is mostly associated with our physical fitness, and well-being also includes our mental health. According to the World Health Organization, well-being is a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, I will speak first about stress and how it is much part of our daily life and affecting our physical health in the second part, and in the third part, our mental health. So, what is stress? We all know what is stress, but it can be defined as the state of mental or emotional strain due to internal or external circumstances. We can identify easily four sources or type of stress. The first one is the to-do list. You certainly have some post-its or reminders for your phone, and it's very handy because you can have your task to do for the day before, the week before, and the week after. Basically, it means that I have a number of tasks that I have to complete in a limited time frame. And it can create a state of inner tension because I may fear not to be able to complete them in the expected time. And due to this the pressure, I may move into the second type or source of stress, which is the sudden fear. I feel I'm not able to do something on time, so I rush to my next meeting. I was not able to drink my coffee, and then when I encounter or reach the room, I bump into a colleague and I burn myself with my cup of coffee in my beautiful, nice white shirt. And that accident can create a sudden fear, which is a source of stress. The next level, which is the third source of stress, is what we call a trauma. This time, instead of having a meeting in the next office, I have a meeting with a customer or with someone in the other side of the city. And there's a lot of traffic jam, I'm starting to get nervous, and I'm driving fast, and then I nearly or had a physical car accident. And that the shock was so intense that it created a deep impression or a trauma within myself. And every time now that I would use my car, I would again sense this inner tension overtaking me. What is interesting to know here is that all of our sources of stress do not have to be related to a physical event really happening. They are mostly associated with symbolic sources of stress or our own interpretations of events happening. So instead of having or meeting a car, a lion, or a tiger, I would have a dinner with my mother-in-law, with my boss, or with my dentist. It could be also something much more subtle, like the fear not to be loved, the fear to be abandoned, the fear to speak in public, the fear to be judged by others. And anytime I sense a similar circumstance, it will trigger within myself a mental or emotional strain or pressure. The fourth source of stress or type of stress is the fear to not be able to cope with the increasing speed of life, where I have more things to do in less time, with less resources, with more target achievements, and all of this while pretending to be happy. And I'm sure we all know that in our modern life and professional life, where of course we are expected to always continuously improve in what we are doing. All of this to say that these different sources of stress are kind of exposing us to a continuous or chronic exposure of stress. Because stress is not negative by default. Actually, we also need stress. We need positive stress, which may kick my adrenaline, improve my focus, my capacity to be engaged and perform in what I'm doing, and even creating a state of happiness or contentment. The problem is when I am exposed to a too high level of stress and for a too long period. And then this huge stress becomes distress, toxic stress. And when it becomes a chronic exposure to stress, this has a tremendous physical and mental impact. There is a clear link between stress and our physical and mental health. Researches are showing that people who are stressed are less likely to have healthy eating food habits, they are less likely to exercise, and they are more likely to smoke. According to the American Association of Stress, 75 to 90% of primary visits to doctors are for stress-related causes or problems. It affects our cardiovascular system, our digestive system, our endocrine system, our mental health, our eyesight. It basically affects our entire metabolism, so much so that it costs a lot of money. According to the World Health Organization, cost of stress is estimated to $300 billion a year to the American economy. And according to the European Agency for Health and Security at Work, it costs 240 billion euros a year to the European economy. There are, of course, direct costs related to accident at workplace, but there are also indirect costs related to sick leave, loss of productivity, with absenteeism, but also a new phenomenon which is called presenteeism. The person comes, but is inefficient, is unable to perform and engage. And there is also brain leakage, brain drain, where people do not want to keep a job by living in such a way that they are too exposed to a too high level of stress. The European Agency for Health and Security at Work observed that 79% of managers are concerned by the very high level of stress to which their employees and teams are exposed to, but only 30% of them declare having procedures in place to handle such situations. So what does it mean? Handle yourself. You have to know by yourself or learn how to regulate stress and your emotional disturbances. And this cannot be learned just by reading books. So stress seems to be a big problem, affecting everybody's life and costing a lot of money. But to tackle it, there seems to be a simple solution, which starts first by understanding what is the biology of stress. Because when I am under stress, I activate the HPA axis, the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenaline axis, which means that my body moves into a posture of fight or flight. And this process has three consequences. The first one is that the blood of my inner organs, viscera, is pushed to the outside limbs because I need to fight or to run. And therefore, I am living on my energy reserves. The second consequence is that it will weaken my immune system, and therefore I will have a higher propensity to fall sick. The third consequence, maybe the most important, is that the blood of the brain will be pushed to the lower part of the brain to be dedicated to the limbic brain, which is in charge of the fight or flight of the defense response, which means that it will actually freeze the access to the prefrontal cortex dedicated to analysis, rational thinking, and decision making. Therefore, when I'm under stress, I cannot think. Not because I don't have the intelligence, the competencies, and any expertise to perform on the task given, but because physiologically I am not in a posture to perform at the cognitive level. So now, if we understand the stress response, we can activate the relaxed response, we can change the mechanic to re-establish a normal functioning. And this is what we can do through the relaxation, especially the heartfulness relaxation. Because in that technique, what we do is that we scan through all the limbs of our body and reset the information of our captors to bring back them to a normal functioning. And at the end, we bring our attention to our heart to re-establish a heart-brain coherence, a psychophysiological coherence, where there is a synchronicity between my emotional center and my thinking center. Because when I feel safe, then I can actually engage in connective activities. This heart-brain coherence is very supportive, conducive to cognitive activities.
Sit comfortably and close your eyes very softly and very gently. Let's begin with the toes. Wiggle your toes. Now feel them relax. Feel the healing energy of Mother Earth move up into your feet and ankles, then up to your knees, relaxing the lower legs. Feel the healing energy move further up your legs. Relax your thighs. Now deeply relax your hips, lower body, and waist. Relax your back. From the top to the bottom, the entire back is relaxed. Relax your chest and shoulders. Feel your shoulders simply melting away. Relax your upper arms. Relax each muscle in your forearms, your hands, right up to your fingertips. Relax your neck muscles. Move your awareness up to your face. Relax your jaw, mouth, nose, eyes, earlobes, facial muscles, forehead, all the way to the top of your head. Feel that your whole body is completely relaxed. Scan your system from top to toe, and if there is any part of your body that is still tense, painful, or unwell, immerse it for a while longer in the healing energy of Mother Earth. When you are ready, move your attention to your heart. Rest there for a little while. Feel immersed in the love and light in your heart. Remain still and quiet, and slowly become absorbed in yourself. Remain absorbed for as long as you want, until you feel ready to come out. Sit comfortably and close your eyes very softly and very gently.
There is also meditation which can give actually greater benefits. And for that, I may refer to the researches of Richard Davidson. He studied the asymmetric functioning of the brain and especially of the prefrontal cortex. And what he observed is that people who are stressed and people who are anxious and depressed develop the same brain circuitries which are related to the right prefrontal cortex. And what was observed is that anytime that there are any information, threatful information popping up, their attention would be hacked toward them, and they would tend to keep on thinking on the same types of thoughts. While people who are naturally happy or who are regularly practicing meditation, they would develop brain circuitries related to the opposite side, to the left prefrontal cortex. And what was observed is that whatever may be the context outside, they would be able to detach themselves from these external circumstances and be able to keep their focus or their attention on what they want to feel or what they want to engage into. Actually, Richard Davidson worked with a famous author and Buddhist monk, who is called Matthew Ricard. And they found out that his left prefrontal cortex activity was very intense. And they even, if you pay attention, you would see that his head would tend to the left. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that through regular practice of meditation, we can improve our physical health and our mental health. And the two of them can support a better quality of sleep. And for that, I would refer to the researches of David Black, who found that regular practice of meditation would help people to fall asleep and to maintain a high quality of sleep. It does not say that a good meditator will be a good sleeper or would sleep longer, but definitely the quality of sleep would be improved. And that's something that's worth being noticed, because sleep problems are becoming a medical concern and a public health concern, because it is estimated that when we reach the age of 55, 50% of the individuals are encountering difficulties to fall asleep and to maintain quality of sleep. And sleep deprivation can lead to mental fragility, depression, and even clinical insomnia. There are also researches from Jeff Iliff and Matthew Walker bringing evidences that sleep may play a critical role in the capacity of the brain to rejuvenate itself. Because the brain is the highest consumer of energy and oxygen. And it is during the sleeping time that it increases what we call the interstitial liquids by 60% to actually remove all the neurotoxins, the beta amyloid. And if we don't remove them, then they form plaques and settle in parts of the brain that support deep sleep. And that would affect our sleeping patterns. So during this session, we have explained what is stress and its multiple forms and how it can affect our physical health. We have explained what is the biology of stress and explained how we can reverse the stress response by the relaxed response. And while it would take up to 45 minutes to bring back our metabolism to a normal functioning after intense stress response, by triggering the relaxed response, we can transform the situation to our advantage to perform better. Stress also impacts our mental health, and we have seen that through regular practice of meditation, we can develop some brain circuitries which allow us to take distance and be focusing on what makes us more happy or what we want to be focusing on or achieve. Better health, better mental health lead to better sleep and overall well-being. Sit comfortably and gently close your eyes and relax. Turn your attention inwards and take a moment to observe yourself. Make a gentle suggestion that the source of light already present in your heart is illuminating it from within, drawing your attention inward. It is pulling your attention inward. Do this in a gentle and natural way. There is no need to concentrate. If you find your awareness drifting to other thoughts, gently come back to the idea of the light in your heart. Feel immersed in the light of your heart. and let yourself become absorbed. Remain still and quiet. Now, keeping your eyes closed, gently ease out of meditation. Observe and savor the condition that you have just experienced. Let this condition be a part of you. Slowly open your eyes, carrying the condition with you. Meditate in this way as often as you like. You can also slowly extend the period of meditation up to 1 hour. You will cherish this journey within. Sit comfortably and gently close your eyes and relax. Turn your attention inwards and take a moment to observe yourself. You can bring your attention to your heart. Make a gentle suggestion that the source of light already present in your heart is drawing your attention inward. It is pulling your attention inward. Rest your attention in the heart and feel the longing in the heart to be one and the highest you can be. Call this deepest self for guidance. And try to dive deep within. Hello and welcome to this session where we'll speak about the benefits of meditation with regards to attention. Yes, attention has become the most valuable resource to a human being. That was studied some years back, or some 4 decades ago, by the researchers Herbert Simon. He could see that through the evolution of society and the emergence of new technologies, there would be an unlimited access to information, and therefore a limited access to another resource, which is called attention, the resource which will value the information or use the information available. Some 4 decades after, we can see that this is an actuality in the world. For instance, the global market capitalization of Facebook or of Google is equal to $555 billion or $888 billion, while the one of Total, the largest French petrol company, is only 1/4, 1/6 of these values. Therefore, 1 barrel of petrol has less value than 1 barrel of information. And with these changes, we can see also that marketing has evolved into what we can describe as mind hacking, where everything is done so that we can tap or hack, catch the information, the attention of people so that they meet their economical targets. So the question which is asked is that, do I have a control of my attention to better use my own resources to achieve my own targets? So in this module, we are going to see what is attention, that most of the time we are not attentive. And that is actually our default way of operating, which is associated with our negative way of operating or apprehending things. But through mental training, in the last part, we'll see that we can change this way of operating and turning it into a positive way, leading to a feeling of happiness. Hello and welcome to this session where we'll speak about So let's now see see what is attention. And for that, I would like to invite you to try a small test, a test of attention. It will last only a few seconds. You will see a video which will start with a plus, and then there will be a succession of letters. And in between them, there will be something else a few times. So the question is, please identify what are these something else and how many of them. Please be focused. So what did you see? Maybe we should do it one more time, but this time please be focused. I repeat, a few seconds where you will see a plus, then a succession of letters, and in between them, something else. Please identify what are these something else and how many of them. Please be focused. So what did you see? Did you see the 1? Did you see the 7? Yes, there were 2 numbers in between the letters, 1 followed by 7. And they were flashing in a very short time to identify or to permit scientists to study what we call the attentional blink. Helen Slachter found out that when we are focusing on one activity, we use our entire brain resources to meet the target. And once the brain gets it, it has its aha moment, and will take a moment then to remobilize its brain resources to again engage in the next activity, the next task. This is called the attentional blink. The interesting part is that she studied this with regular practitioners of meditation. She found out that regular practitioners of meditation could actually reduce this attentional blink, suggesting 2 things. First, regular practice of meditation enables us to have a high quality of attention or high resolution of attention, where we are able to capture more information and be more precise in what we are doing. Second is that we are able to better use our brain resources when we engage in an activity. And interestingly, this works not only for repetitive tasks, but also when we engage in a new activity. So now we are going to go deeper by understanding how are we attentive on a daily basis. That was studied by Matthew Killingsworth of the University of Harvard, where he engaged 2,500 participants, collected more than 200.5 billion of data, with participants from over 80 countries, from 18 to 80 years old, and from 86